Hey friends, real estate data and headlines can be very confusing because they'll say the market's down 30% or the market's up 40%. You don't know if they're talking about volume or sales price. Usually it's an obscure data point that is just really designed for clickbait to get people excited. And you can see sometimes those same headlines in the same day, and it's very confusing for the consumer. What I do, I look at this weekly report and I want to see leading indicator data. What we see in the news is a lagging indicator data where it's like a month and a half, sometimes 2 months old. They're giving you this data. We might be in a dramatic change. Now, real estate data you should look at in your price point, in your neighborhood, in your type of home, whether it's a single family, a condo, a townhome. But this data report is something I look at for our region. So we go to Baltimore, and what I want to see is leading indicator data. And this in particular is the weekly showings. We know showings can turn into contracts. So you can see over the past 5 years where things are at. And we're performing pretty similarly to 2023 and 2022, nowhere near 2020 and 2021. But we want to see upticks or see what's happening. This is the general region. And it's just a good leading indicator that things are picking up or slowing down, because what's going to happen is they're going to turn into contracts. And that contract trend line is going to follow in a very similar fashion. Now, there's a lot of reasons. There's low inventory, which is going to have low showings because there's not as much to look at. I will show you there is, of all the data points we're looking at, there is an uptick in weekly active listings across the last couple of years for the same week to week. Now, this data is all weekly, and we can see the trend line across the whole year. And another thing I look at is the mortgage applications. So the last 6 weeks, we've seen a reduction in mortgage applications, and that's another indicator. If people aren't getting mortgages or getting a pre-approved for mortgages or doing applications, they're probably not out looking at houses. They're not out looking at houses. They're not writing contracts, and they're not showing, they're not creating the sales data that the news is going to use a month and a half, 2 months from now. My name is Ron Howard. Been doing this a long time. If you're looking to buy and sell, want what's happening in today's market, give me a shout. We'd love to help.